All right, hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to Strange Science. Today we got a interesting topic. You all know I love talking about psychedelic animals and natural chemical defenses that have a psychotropic or behavioral effect on organisms. I actually have one of the the videos I put between my segments. I actually have one in the works just about animals getting or about birds getting drunk. I just haven't finished it yet. It's been a work in progress for a while. I have lots of animal videos and shorts like that in the works, so I need to start releasing them as like shorts because I have a whole ton of them. I mean, you all watch it between the segments, but that's about it. Sometimes I'll pop them in at the end of my videos, but this is the kind of topic I love talking about. No one knows how the Sonoran desert toad produces its psychedelic slime. Researchers wondered if the source may be in the toad's diet and were pretty surprised to see what the creature eats. The milky discharge of the Sonoran desert toad contains what may be the most potent psychedelic compound on Earth. Yet researchers are yet to figure out how the rotund little creature produces its mind-melting ooze. Seeking the source of the amphibian's stupefying secretions, the authors of an as yet unpeer-reviewed study, so keep that in mind, unpeer-reviewed, pumped the stomachs of dozens of toads, revealing a weird and wonderful assortment of devoured items. Known by its Latin name, Encilius alvarius, the Sonoran desert toad is the only known animal that produces the psychedelic compound 5-ME0-DMT. You heard it here, folks. DMT from this toad. When smoked, this substance generates a short-lived yet incredibly powerful trip that has been likened to entering an existential void. While it's unclear how the toad produces the compound, the study authors suspect that the animal's diet, which consists of toxic ants and beetles, might hold some clues. They therefore flushed the stomach contents of 29 of the saucy little anurians living in and around Tucson, Arizona, and compared these to the bellied belongings of 21 other toads inhabiting the same region. We found the ants and beetles, many of which possess chemical defenses, to be the dominant prey item of I. alvarius, reveals the researcher. Some of the toads had also swallowed spiders and wasps, while one daring individual had dined on an Arizona bark scorpion, whose sting is extremely painful and potentially lethal to humans. Another, meanwhile, had chowed down on a bullet casing. That's interesting. I don't think the bullet casing would have any impact on its psychedelic secretions, though. Interestingly, some of the ants in the toad's diet were from the Pogonymyrmex genus, which contains numerous species that are known to produce psychedelic effects when eaten. However, the results of the study indicated that I. alvarius does not consume these ants in sufficient quantities to provide a major source of 5-ME0-DMT. The researchers also noted that several non-psychedelic toad species were also found to have eaten the same ants, and the Sonoran desert toad from different environments have highly divergent diets, yet still produce 5-ME0-DMT in similar amounts. Overall, these findings suggest that a direct dietary source of 5-MeO-DMT is unlikely in the Sonoran desert toad, concluded the study's author. Having ruled out ants, beetles, scorpions, wasps, and even bullets as the primary ingredient in the psychedelic toad slime, the researchers are left to speculate on the origins of the trippy residue. Previously, it had been suggested that the animal may generate the compound using an enzyme called 5-hydroxyndole 0-methyltransferase. And while the presence of this catalyst has not been confirmed in Alvarius, the authors recognize that this could be the answer. For now, though, all that we know for sure about the Sonoran desert toad is that their numbers are dwindling due to excessive harvesting of their psychedelic slime. Please don't milk the toads. And I will probably put my Lick the Toads video at the end of this, which is one of my faves. So actually, we might watch that in between this and the spider segment that's coming up next. All right. Thank you so much for sticking around with me for this little segment of Strange Science. Just a cute little video or a cute little article about psychedelic toads and a new and the research trying to figure out why it makes us trip so bad and where that comes from. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that Lick the Toad video up, and then we'll move into the spiders. Let's do it.
What we're talking about is licking toads to get high. Now, for years, various Indians of Central America have ingested the hallucinogenic secretions of toads, but that practice, according to the Drug Enforcement Administration, is against the law. At first glance, the toad does not look like a criminal.
Lick the toad, lick the toad, lick the toad, lick the toad. They call him Narco Toad. On the street, he's also known by his alias, Bufo Marinus. He and his cousin, Bufo Alvarius, are dangerous dudes. They deal in a mind-scrambling substance that defends against intruders. It all comes from a little gland behind the toad's head.
When bitten, the toad secretes a milky white fluid from its parotid glands that can poison its attacker, making them extremely ill and sometimes causing cardiac arrest.
Watch whatever crap comes on next. Coming up next!
Live from the Hive.
The organization took to their Facebook page last week to caution visitors not to lick the Sonoran desert toad. Don't lick it. If you're wondering why anyone would want to do that, well, let's explain. Apparently, this particular species of toad secretes a psychedelic toxin that leads to hallucinations if ingested, but can also make humans really sick, leaving people incapacitated for up to 30 minutes. Well, the NPS didn't say if a particular incident prompted their public service announcement, but a recent report from the New York Times says there has been an increased demand for the poison recently. Perhaps that's the reason the Park Service felt it necessary to remind visitors not to lick toads.
Ew, gross, man. You okay?
Whoa, everything's so significant. Dude, you gotta try this.
Not even. It's got your germs on it.
Not this end.
Ah, I can see the air. And you know what else?
The hallucinogenic compound of bufotoxin sometimes do create a feeling of airiness or flying and things like that, and we believe that the witches flying around on broomsticks is probably due to the toad component of the witch's brew.
While the psychedelic bufotine has been detected in dozens of toad species, Bufo alvarius is the only amphibian known to biosynthesize its O-methyl homolog, 5-MeO-DMT. The toad's neck and limbs carry numerous protuberant glands marked by pores through which venom is excreted from subcutaneous lobules that contain the enzyme responsible for biosynthetic conversion of bufotine into 5-MeO-DMT, in addition to the production of other tryptamines and cardiotoxic steroids.
Ooh, check it out, man. The licking toad. Yeah, licking toad, man. Lick the toad.
The National Park Service says if you see a toad in the wild, keep your tongue in your mouth.
That substance is bitter and foul tasting. It blocks nerve transmission. It can affect the heart. It also can get you high.
Nothing. Here we go. Yeah. Huh?
These are crystallized secretions from a toad. A substance like this killed 4 people in Australia last year. In fact, possessing the secretion with intent to use it to get high is a federal offense.
In order to do any legal action against a person, we'd have to prove drug intent, that you, like conspiracy to lick a toad or conspiracy to sell a toad to lick or something of that sort.
Anything yet? Are you sure you're licking right?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's supposed to pack an awesome buzz.
If you want to get one of these toads, forget it. The zoo tells us that Bufo marinus is restricted in California. The toad has been introduced in places like Florida, and it's done a lot of damage there. It's also a potentially dangerous toad, and certainly one you would never want to lick. Sylvia?
Never.
Ever? Ever?
No.
Okay, thanks.